You're watching TV5, Mid-Michigan's home for news. With coverage you can count on, this is WNEM-TV 5 News.
Evil. This was an evil act of violence. That's exactly what this was.
The Grand Blanc Township Police Chief not mincing words after yesterday's shooting at the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. He says everyone has now been accounted for. 4 victims are now confirmed dead.
But the work to find answers is far from over. TV5's Zane Omer is near the scene as investigators continue to comb through the rubble. So Zane, what's the latest there?
Chet and Meg, I'm just a few feet away from the church, but it is locked down right in front. There is a barricade up. We've seen a very active scene in police presence. We've seen Michigan State Police, Genesee County Sheriff's deputies. We know the FBI has also taken over this investigation in what they're calling a targeted attack. Today, an update we received from the Grand Blanc Township Governor Gretchen Whitmer among those in Genesee County today offering support. The governor speaking during an update this afternoon at the Grand Blanc Township Police Department, first thanking first responders, including the Grand Blanc Township and DNR officers who took down the suspect, responding within 30 seconds of the first call. Whitmer also saying she spoke with President Donald Trump last night, who offered his condolences. A local state of emergency has been declared by the Genesee County Board of Commissioners. This declaration activates emergency operations plans and authorizes aid, assistance, and directives under those plans. It also gives Genesee County the ability to request additional support and resources from the state, such as emergency personnel and expedited aid. In her remarks today, the governor says the state will be here every step of the way to coordinate a full response with local and federal partners.
These are places that we go to feel connected, to feel safe, to be together. But today, this place has been shattered by bullets and broken glass. I know that this community is reeling right now, and I want you to know that the state of Michigan has your back. Your grief is our grief.
Governor Whitmer also addressing rumors circulating about what may have led to this tragedy, warning about misinformation.
Like everyone I know, we have lots of questions. How could this happen? What created this moment? While the good men and women who are working hard are doing so with due diligence, at this juncture, speculation is unhelpful and it can be downright dangerous. So just ask that people lower the temperature of rhetoric. Keep your loved ones close and keep this community close to your hearts.
State police also giving a reminder of their Stop the Plot initiative. While no motive has been released in this case, the MSP director says 53% of mass attacks leave a trail of clues, and 2/3 of mass attackers display concerning behavior. Now, the FBI says it is exhausting all leads in this case, which include tips from the public. Anyone with information on what may have led up to this is encouraged to call 1-800-CALL-FBI. In the meantime, people are being asked to avoid this area in front of the church. Reporting live in Grand Blanc Township, Zane Omer, back to you.
Thank you, Zane. The governor has ordered American and Michigan flags lowered to half staff to honor the victims. We also received an update on some of those victims. Henry Ford Genesis Hospital says it's cared for 8 of the 12 patients, ranging in age from 6 to 78. 5 were shot, 3 suffered from smoke inhalation. Of those shot, 2 are still in critical condition. 1 died at the hospital. 1 child was stabilized and transferred, and 1 man was shot in the leg. Of the 3 suffering from smoke inhalation, 2 have been discharged. 1 is still intubated.
We hate having to prepare for these kind of events, but we are prepared, as well as the other hospitals in our community.
Tonight, so many questions remain about the man behind this horrific attack.
TV5 investigative reporter Meredith St. Henry joins us with what she's uncovered about Thomas Jacob Sanford. Meredith?
Meg, in the last 24 hours, we learned Thomas Jacob Sanford was 40 years old, married, and had a son. We also know he was a Marine veteran. Thomas Jacob Sanford was a resident of Genesee County. TV5 cameras were rolling all day yesterday outside of his Burton home as Michigan State Police Bomb Squad and the FBI went through his home on Atherton Road for hours after the tragic shooting. Through tax records, we learned Sanford has owned that home since 2016. We also learned from the United States Marine Corps that Sanford is a veteran. He served in the Marines for 4 years. From 2004 to 2008, he was ranked as a sergeant and was deployed for Operation Iraqi Freedom from 2007 to 2008. During this time in the Marines, he also received several awards, including Marine Corps Good Conduct Medal, Sea Service Deployment Ribbon, Iraq Campaign Medal, Global War on Terrorism Service Medal, and National Defense Service Medal. Sanford's last assignment was at Camp Lejeune in North Carolina. Before joining the Marines, Sanford graduated from Goodrich High School in 2003. This is a picture of him in high school on the baseball team. He is on the right side of your screen wearing a jersey and the number 23 on it. We have also confirmed through the Grand Blanc Township Police Chief that Sanford does have a police record. He was previously arrested for operating while intoxicated and burglary. Although the chief didn't say where or when that did happen. Back to you.
Thank you, Meredith. A 21-year-old man was taken into custody today after driving through the barricade near the church. The Grand Blanc Township Police Chief says they're investigating what happened and aren't sure if it's connected to yesterday's events.
The driver accused in the deadly crash involving members of the Putman family is facing a slew of charges. Pavel Shukin is charged with 3 counts of a moving violation causing death and 5 counts of a moving violation causing serious impairment of a body function. The Tuscola County Sheriff's Office says Friday night Shukin was driving a semi on Hurd's Corner Road with a female passenger when he failed to stop at a stop sign, hitting a Jeep carrying 8 members of the Putman family on Deckerville Road. 3 of the Putmans died. The other 5 were injured. The sheriff's office says Shukin is a lawful permanent resident of the U.S. and lives in Florida. He did need an interpreter in court, but was remorseful and apologized. He's being held on a $100,000 cash or surety bond.
The Corunna Police Department is sharing safety advice after an attempted sexual assault on the James S. Minor Trail. It says last night, just after 7, officers responded to a 911 call at the trail and discovered a man had physically assaulted and attempted to sexually assault a woman. She was able to fight him off, and the man was arrested shortly after. Corunna Police are reminding everyone that if you go for a walk in a secluded area, you should walk in groups of 2 or more people. Make sure your phone is charged and be vigilant of your surroundings. If you are going to walk alone, tell someone when you get there and when you plan on returning.
And a live look at downtown Flint tonight as we continue the beautiful weather that we've had over the last several days. It looks like our next chance for rain not until early next week, which for those who have outdoor plans and for those who are trying to soak up every last ounce of these warm temperatures, that's great news. But for those who really need the rain, not so much. Our evening planner tonight shows we do cool off to the 50s as we head towards the overnight hours, and it looks like we'll be in the 40s and 50s as we head out the door tomorrow morning. Average is right around 47. So we'll be at least close to that over most of mid-Michigan tonight. Saginaw could be a little bit warmer. Areas like Bay City and also Port Hope could be a bit warmer too. It's mostly these interior areas of the thumb that drop into the 40s and some of those counties off to the north. Your fog tracker here shows that as we get closer to tomorrow morning, there may be some patchy fog here and there, but we're doing better than what we have for the last several days. It even got better this past weekend compared to early last week, but we're still battling some fog here and there throughout the mornings, but that's pretty typical of this time of year. We've got 60s and 70s out the door as we head towards tomorrow. We'll take a look at the rest of your forecast coming up in just a bit.
Thank you, Chris. President Trump meets with congressional leaders at the White House amid a looming government shutdown.
The fight over federal funding and what could happen if there's no deal ahead of the deadline.
Gladwin and Midland County residents have a chance to ask their state representative questions.
Congressional leaders are set to meet with President Trump at the White House, facing a fast approaching government funding deadline. Democrats are pushing to extend Affordable Care Act subsidies set to expire at the end of this year and roll back cuts to Medicaid.
Find a bipartisan path forward to meet the needs of the American people, starting with health care and lowering the high cost of living, because we're in a health care crisis right now.
Republicans want to pass a short-term spending bill that would fund the government until mid-November, negotiating demands from Democrats at a later time. If Congress does not get something to President Trump to sign by tomorrow night, the government faces a temporary shutdown. Thousands of federal workers could be furloughed and non-essential services would be disrupted. The White House has also threatened mass firings at federal agencies if no deal is reached to keep the government open.
Tomorrow, State Representative Bill G. Schuette will host his Ask Bill G. Tele-Town Hall for constituents in Midland and Gladwin counties. It's at 5:05 online on his official Facebook page. You can submit questions that you'd like answered to the email right there on your screen. Schuette's legislative director will also be available to talk in person on Thursday at the Beaverton Activity Center from 1:30 to 2:30, and then the Midland Business Alliance from 3 to 4. A new survey by Bankrate finds 41% of holiday shoppers are concerned that gifts will be more expensive this year. Consumer investigator Rachel DePompa finds out ways you can prepare for higher costs now in this Watching Your Wallet.
4 in 10 holiday shoppers are concerned about high prices this year. Ted Rossman with Bankrate says some of that is the tariff talk. He says many retailers have been absorbing the tariff hikes, or many have stocked up on products ahead of time, so they are still selling pre-tariff products right now without the hikes. But regardless of the tariffs, prices are still up because of inflation.
Since the beginning of 2021, prices have gone up an average of 25%. People are feeling that too. I know that the Fed and others say, well, month over month or year over year, inflation's not that bad. A lot of consumers, though, are still thinking kind of big picture, like what did things cost 5 years ago versus what do they cost now?
If you're worried about prices, Rossman says start shopping right now. It is not too early. You still have 6 or 7 paychecks between now and the end of the year. Set money aside from each of them and build that holiday fund.
What we want to guard against is credit card debt. The average credit card charges 20%. If you wait till the end, you're either going to run up credit card debt or you're really asking those December paychecks to carry the heavy lifting. It's better to build a fund in advance, spread out that impact. A lot of the good deals are going to start in early October.
He says this is something we've seen since the pandemic. October is the new Black Friday. We'll have an Amazon Prime Day, Target Circle Week, Walmart does a big holiday kickoff. He says that first or second week of October is when a lot of the good deals start to appear. With this Watching Your Wallet, I'm Rachel DePompa.
New at 6, the Trump administration's tariffs could soon be hitting the big screen. President Donald Trump announced plans to impose a 100% tariff on any and all movies that are made outside of the United States. So far, there's no word about when or how this move will be enacted, but it would be the first time President Trump threatened to place a tariff on a service as opposed to a raw good. Earlier this year, Trump commented that other countries have offered tax incentives that have drawn filmmakers abroad. Trump says this has hurt the U.S. economy. At least one industry analyst says a tariff like this would be too tough to enforce.
As we count down to America's 250th birthday, we're highlighting what happened on this day in history. In 1975, WGPR-TV in Detroit first went on the air. It made history as the first African-American-owned TV station in the country. Today, it's known as WWJ-TV or CBS Detroit, after the network bought it out in the 90s.
More local news. If you live in Saginaw, you're invited to learn from firefighters on how to keep your family safe. A citywide meeting next Wednesday will discuss fall fire safety and arson watch. The meeting will also have a fire and rescue simulation with the Saginaw Live Burn Building. Fire officials say the falling leaves, yard debris, dry grass, and cooler temperatures can heighten fire hazards. There will also be updates about upcoming community programs and events. Next Wednesday's meeting on fall fire safety starts at 5:30 at the Saginaw Fire Training Facility on East Bristol Road.
And considering how dry we are right now, plus how dry we will be after this week, that is a topic that I think will get more attention as we move forward. So continue to be careful as we start getting more leaves on the ground, more brush starting to pile up. Those types of things can't be too careful in the weeks ahead. A live look at downtown Saginaw. We've got plenty of sunshine overlooking the area. Our temperatures tonight are gradually going to fall off to the 60s and then eventually into the 40s and 50s for overnight lows. We've got clear skies once again and likely won't see much cloud cover as we go through this week. I think we see a little bit more on Wednesday as a weak cold front comes through and kicks up northeasterly winds tomorrow. But otherwise, it's another clear start to the day tomorrow morning. Pick up somewhere around the 40s to low 50s. And then once we get to the afternoon, it looks like we'll be right around the 70s over most of mid-Michigan, potentially a few locations touching 80, but a cooler day compared to today as those winds will shift to a northeasterly direction as soon as tomorrow. But I think you'll feel more of that cold front on Wednesday. First alert, pinpoint Doppler radar is dry tonight. Your sky tracker hardly showing any cloud cover over the region. As we take a look at the hour-by-hour forecast tonight, we've got 60s as we head towards 8:30. We've got the 40s and 50s out the door tomorrow morning. A little patchy fog not out of the question, but nothing widespread. We're already headed towards the middle and upper 70s in most locations by lunchtime. So parents, if you're debating on the jacket tomorrow for the second half of the day or whether to send pants or shorts, those types of things, it will be warm again tomorrow away from the lakeshore. As we head towards Tuesday night, we'll cool back off into the 60s. And then as we go into Wednesday morning, I think we're looking at temps that are probably closer to the 50s as we see a bit more cloud cover move in late Tuesday night into Wednesday. Hurricane Umberto is now a Category 4 storm, not really going to have a direct impact to the mainland here in the United States, but it will have an impact along with Imelda for us here in Michigan, not necessarily with any wet weather, but it will prevent wet weather as these two disturbances, you see them highlighted in red, will start to move north and then eventually out to sea. However, they'll be close enough to lock things up over land to prevent east to west progress in the jet stream. And so what that does is it keeps high pressure over us for an extended period of time. So we're expecting this big ridge of high pressure to just keep building as the week goes along, and it will keep our forecast dry as we head towards the end of the week and also even through the weekend. As far as how much rain we've seen over the last 30 days, some areas actually above average now around Ogemaw County, northwestern Aranac and northeastern Gladwin, but everyone else continues their deficit through the month of September, and I don't see that getting any better anytime soon. Your 7-day forecast shows the only rain chance we have is on Monday. It's just a small chance, and temperatures will stay above average through the lower and middle 80s during that stretch.
Thank you, Chris. When we return, the latest on the ongoing investigation into yesterday's church shooting in Grand Blanc Township. All new tonight, fans gathering for the unveiling of a statue honoring the Queen of Rock and Roll. The goal from the community as they pay homage to the late Tina Turner. On the news at 10 on TV5+.
Then on TV5 News at 11, the tragedy in Grand Blanc Township. How long it took one nearby resident to realize something terrible was unfolding.
Also at 11, using pot for potholes. Why marijuana advocates want the state to hit the brakes on taxing their product for road repairs. A recap of the latest developments in the shooting and fire at the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints in Grand Blanc Township. The police chief says everyone has been accounted for and the victim death toll remains at 4. The shooter also died. 8 people were hurt, 5 were shot, and 3 suffered smoke inhalation. 2 of those who were shot are in critical condition. 1 who suffered smoke inhalation is intubated.
The ATF says explosive devices were found. The shooter, Thomas Jacob Sanford of Burton, was a Marine deployed during Operation Iraqi Freedom and earned several awards while serving. A motive has not yet been revealed.
Also, the Grand Blanc Township police chief recently made a post on Facebook telling everyone to watch out for scammers trying to take advantage of this tragedy with fake GoFundMe accounts and fundraisers.
The Grand Blanc Township Police Department did partner with Elga Credit Union and created the Victim Compassion Fund Grand Blanc Strong strong. Anyone who wants to contribute can walk into any of ELGA's 16 Genesee County branches and make a donation.
If you believe a fundraiser is a scam, please report it to police or the Michigan Attorney General's office.
And we will have another update on this shooting at 10 on our sister station, TV5 Plus, and then right here at 11. In the meantime, keep it tuned to our app, WNEM.com, and our social media pages for the latest updates.
Thank you for watching the news at 6. We'll see you back here at 11.